Now there are some things I would like to show you and put a perspective on, my perspective on everything that's going on. I've done a lot of research on the markets, our economy, the world economy, global economy, and what I think is going to happen in the near future. I'm going to show you some things here. First is an article from Zero Hedge talking about what Fed Chairman Powell said yesterday that sent markets crashing right off the bat. He had said not only is the Fed going to hike 2 more times in 2019, but the shrinkage of its balance sheet is on autopilot, sparking fears that the Fed is leaving stocks on their own for the first time in more than 10 years as it pursues quantitative tightening and leading to a 1.5% drop in the S&P 500, its biggest plunge during a Fed announcement day in recent history. Okay, you see that in recent history. The assets have been dropping. This is good for us. We don't want to buy a real expensive house. We want our dollar to be worth something, right? But and yeah, that's good for us here at home. But how about this? When our money becomes very expensive overseas, their money doesn't follow. Okay, so their money is still actually very weak, and our money continues to get more expensive and more expensive. And since we have a global economy, this has basically deteriorated many economies overseas. We've seen Venezuela go down. We have seen numerous economies go down. Too many to name at the current moment. But right now, I'm going to draw your attention to the Bank of International Settlements. This is the central banks of central banks, the most important bank out there. And they are saying we are on more bumps to the path of normalcy. So we are not normal right now. We are in inflation land. We're in la la land because interest rates have been at 0% for 10 years, the whole time Obama was in office. Our debt skyrocketed to 21 trillion, and yeah, about time. Central banks are saying nope, enough of that free money. We're not getting anywhere because of this. We are 21 trillion in debt. They can't do this anymore. So they started tightening up, and what has happened? Well, we're going to have a stock correction. It's going to correct to fair value. And let's read what they're saying. Financial markets swung widely, eventually netting a sharp correction. Exactly what I was saying. During the period under review, which started in mid-September, asset prices fell across the board. That's like gold. That's all assets. Anything you would want to buy fell across the board, and U.S. government yields widened in October. That means they made more money in October before retracing that increase and dropping further as the sell-off of risk assets spread. Those risk assets are things like Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, things that just came to the market. Those are risk assets. Volatility and term premia jumped. A further round of turbulence, this time accompanied by lower yields. Lower yields is lower money, lower profits, hit markets in December. The repricing took place amongst mixed signals from global economic activity and the gradual yet persistent tightening of financial conditions. It also reflected the EBB inflow of ongoing trade tensions and heightened political uncertainty in the euro area. These bumps were a reminder of the narrow path that central banks are treading in their quest for policy normalization. In a general challenging policy environment. That's right, because all the tariffs that are going on, these central banks are trying to normalize their balance sheet because the dollar is basically worthless. And if they continue to inflate the money, continue inflating everything, we will be worthless. Our dollar will be worth nothing. You'll have $1 billion that's worth zero. Okay, and we are basically almost there. So they had to do this right now. Had to, or else the system would die and there would be a transfer to a new system. Okay, so I believe they're trying right now to save this old system as much as they can. And I'll let you guys read this if you want to see what else is going on. But how about take a look at the IMF, another important organization. Now, IMF, they're saying this is the International Monetary Fund. The International Monetary Fund, what do they do? If you want to know about the IMF, you can go right here real quick just to show you about them. It's an organization of 189 countries working to foster global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, and reduce poverty around the world. Okay, so their purpose is to ensure the stability of international monetary system, the system of exchange rates and international payments that enable countries and their citizens to transact with each other, making the IMF was set up by the United States. This is what keeps the United States on top. Okay, and these exchange rates making their currency way less than ours. Basically, what's going on. And about the IMF, what do they want? They want, get ready for it, they want a socialism, globalism, communism type world. That's exactly what they want, and they're the ones that are dictating everything. So get ready for it all. Protectionism calls. You see the umbrella? Basically, what they want to do is read it here. Tax everybody, and everybody's protected because everybody works and everybody gets the benefits of all. Okay, and basically want to take us into socialism. Now, let's go on and show you that right here. Universal benefits, everybody gets the benefits. Perhaps we need to revisit the political and social advantages of universal benefits, which are better for getting political buy-in and ensuring quality. The founder of the welfare state in the UK intended it to be based on the concept of universal social insurance. That link was lost as the social safety net increasingly was funded through general taxation, and some citizens opted out through private provisions. The pioneering British social researcher noted that separate discriminatory services for poor people have always tended to be poor quality services. So basically what they want to do is take the rich and take some of the rich's money and give it to the poor, making the poor the middle class. An income shift, okay? And making that middle class, everybody the middle class is basically what they want to do, what their goal is. Make the poor the middle class and make the rich the middle class. And how are they going to do this? They steal from the rich and give to the poor. This is exactly how they do that, right? And also everybody has to work, and everybody works in different ways. They take an aptitude test in countries like Russia, China, these communistic, socialism type countries. And whatever you're good at is where you work at. You take part in that society, and you donate your goods and your services to the society, and by doing that you benefit, you get part of the benefits. I myself, I'm not sure if I like this, because it's basically giving control to the government, giving control to somebody else but yourself, and you have to have an elites take control of this whole thing. You're gonna have to have some kind of government, and so that government, so far, all the communistic, socialistic governments have been corrupt. Look at Russia, look at China, but basically you can have your own opinion on it, and I'll leave all these articles here, and this is what the IMF is saying, okay? That's what they're saying. If you look at a new social contract is what they want. This just came out in December 2018. I'll let you read all of it, keep all the articles here, post them at the bottom. Thank you for joining RC Truth Media. Hit that like button, and make sure you hit that bell so you get all the latest updates. Take care.